Hi, just thought I'd do a bit of a talk, won't be long, a couple of minutes, on the last 3 days of my life. Sunday afternoon, I drove over to Grindleford and I stayed overnight in the Sir William Hotel. The staff are lovely, the building a little bit tired. Monday morning, myself and 7 others started on the assessment for Hill and Moorland Leader. I'm quite pleased to say that I did pass. That's made my day. But here's how the days went. Day 1, General Hill Day. We spent a lot of time just walking, using the Ordnance Survey 25k map, and being asked to relocate. So as an example, one of the other candidates would walk off into the middle of nowhere, 200, 300, 400, 500 meters. We'd follow along. They were told where to navigate to. We of course weren't. And we had to walk along with them or follow them. And at the end, they would be asked if they knew where they were. Then we would be asked, can you tell us where you are? I found that really quite challenging to begin with. I've done a lot of consolidation, but nothing like that. I think the day went okay. We had some feedback at the end of the day. The coach, a man called James, wonderful man, his words were, "You are flirting with the standard," which I found to be quite comical, but also quite, I think, quite scary. Because I had no idea. Well, I was on the line, but I could fall either side of it. I sent a message to my partner on the Monday night, letting her know that I wasn't sure how it was all going. Tuesday morning, different day. We were told to use the Harvey's 1 to 40k map rather than the Ordnance Survey. Luckily, I'd done quite a lot of navigation with those maps, so I understood the different ways of showing feature on there. And we went out and we did pretty much the same thing. We also had to give a demonstration of leadership skills. So I led a short sense of the walk. We had to give a demonstration of teaching skills. So I did the same thing, and I taught as if they were beginners on estimating distance and timing. Really enjoyed it. That day finished around 4 p.m. We had a quick snack, and then it went night, dark time. And there is some night navigation. We were out naviging in the dark till close to 10 p.m. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It's something I had done quite a lot of my consolidation. So I came out of the second day feeling a lot more positive, which I needed. A lot more positive. I know that some of the other candidates hadn't used the 40k map during the day at all. No, I'll correct that. They hadn't used the 40k map before the day, so they found it a little bit harder than I did. I think I got a little bit of an easier ride because I knew how to use that map. Got some good feedback off the assessor that day. Her name was Hattie. Yeah, the feedback was well done. And I went back to the hotel and stayed another night. Had a great evening. Met some wonderful people. Listened to some music and fell asleep a lot happier than the first day. Day 3, the groups were mixed up a little bit. So we went out with new people. I went out with James, and different location altogether. It was a slightly shorter day. We started it with a chat about our home paper, and then we went out. The rest of the group I was with were all given the 40k maps. As I discovered later, they had demonstrated weaknesses with those maps, so they had to work on those. I was given the 1 to 25. I wasn't sure whether that meant that I had a weakness on the 1 to 25. I had no idea whatsoever. But I went out, and very similar to the first day, they would walk off at the distance, and we would be asked where we were. They led legs. They led 2 legs each, I believe, and I got to lead the last leg home. I felt that day couldn't have gone any better. Couldn't have gone any better. A lot more feedback, a lot of very positive feedback from James. Yeah, when I realised that I wasn't leading any of the legs, in my mind I was either thinking, well, I've crushed this, I'm going to pass, I'm at standard, I'm not being assessed, or I'm not being watched so carefully. Or I've bombed out so badly that there's no point in spending any more time on me. So that those thoughts were bouncing in my mind. And of course, we were given no yes or no's. We got back to the hotel. Actually, we didn't get back to the hotel. We were stopped at a given point, and James asked us, what would you do in the event of someone getting injured? And we had to go through the rescue scenario. And that took about 20 minutes. Luckily, just because of the other work that I do, I felt quite confident relaying that information. I've also trained first aid for quite a long time. So that did help. Got back to the hotel. James and Hattie then went off and had a very long discussion, well over 30 or 40 minutes, I believe. And we were called in one at a time. A few people went in, came out with smiles on their faces. One went in and came out still happy, but happy that they'd achieved some parts and they had a minor deferral. But they were still happy. They succeeded for a lot of the work, and I was so proud of all the people that got before me. Then it was my turn. Walked through an empty pub to a room at the far side. Walked into a room, turned left to see James and Hattie sat there. And before either spoke, they both stood up, reached out their hand to shake my hand, and James said, well done, you have passed your ML assessment. Hattie reached out to shake my hand, I gave her a hug. And then James said, would you like some feedback? I said, yes, please. The more the merrier, I'm here to improve. And I have got to say that I walked away giggling like a silly teenager, because I felt the feedback was all positive. I was asked, am I going to go on and do my ML? The answer is almost certainly no. Not because I don't want it, it's just that I truthfully don't think I've got the time to look up the mountain days. And if I do have the time, it'll take me 5 years, a long time. I also live on the edge of the Peak District, so I don't really need the ML. The HML would suffice for all the things I want to do with the qualification. All in all, fantastic 3-day. Catching up, there were 2 people who went in for feedback after me. They both work for EDL Youth Hostel. I unfortunately have no idea how they did. I really hope they both passed. Yeah, fantastic time. I think Hattie and James, they both have different delivery styles. Both work perfectly on the day, and I'm sure they work constantly as well. Nothing but admiration, and yeah, if you want to go and do your HML assessment, although I haven't done it with any other companies, I would have no hesitation to recommend go and do it Beyond the Edge. I've just been speaking to a friend who has got his assessment booked in February, I don't know who with, and he asked how it had gone and did I have any advice. And my only advice was, find a friend, go out hiking with a friend, ask that friend to walk off into the distance, literally randomly, while you follow them, and then when they say stop, relocate where you are, because that essentially is what we did for 3 days. So yeah, that would be my only advice to people training. Obviously hit the standards, but practice that. Practice following people, and when they stop, relocate. Thank you for listening to my ramblings. Thank you.